Roll call. Right, yes, I'm here.
Okay, vote.
Here.
Deers.
Here.
Lutz. Here. Sarah. Here. Campbell.
Here.
All right.
Pledge allegiance.
To the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And in front of us, any changes at all or anything?
Yes, we
Okay.
do. Under the new business A, we need to add the resignation of Anna Bridge. We also need to add Eric Allen, high school science, 54,040.
And then also under that, there's one that we'll add, but we're gonna do it, in a separate motion, and that one is gonna be, what's the name?
Leon.
Leon Biggs for high school science, and I'll explain when we get there why that one's gonna be a separate motion for everything else. What?
Middle school.
Middle school science.
Middle school.
Middle school
Language arts.
Language arts. Middle school language arts. Thanks, Jay, for setting up straight.
So not science, language arts, got it.
We do have a science guy.
Okay. Any other changes? No, that's okay. So we just need to motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the changes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Next item, do we have any waivers? Be any in there? Okay, so no waivers. We are minutes. We have minutes on March 11th and April 2nd. They were all emailed out. I don't believe there was any changes to be made to them, so we just need a motion to approve those minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for March 11th and April 2nd. Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All right, motion carries. Expenditures, we can approve them all at once, or do we need to pull anything out? You carry.
Make a motion to approve expenditures A through C. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item are financial statements, A through K. Again, if you have any questions on it, we can pull them out. If not, you can approve them all at once.
I'll make a motion to approve financial statements A through K.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Patrons and others. We have a proposal that was provided in the packets before.
And so just as I introduced Kaylee here, she's the director for, is that your title, right? Director for Northern Hills Alliance for Children, correct?
Correct.
Yes. She came in and met with Mr. Van Bibber and I, and she'll kind of talk about the nature of that conversation. I think our task tonight is just to listen. I think we're agreeable, in theory, to what she's talking about. There's some logistics things that we'll probably have to work out, but it's similar to some other things we've already got going. And so, this would be a good time, like if you have any questions, but basically she'll kind of let you know what the ask is and where we're going there. So.
Okay, again, thank you for that introduction. I'm the director of Northern Hills Alliance for Children. We're the licensed childcare center in Deadwood. We provide care for about 45 to 57 families in our communities. And the care is provided for 6-week-old up to pre-kindergartners. I'm also a part of a committee that's hosted by SDSU, and we are here to make sure that rural childcare is at its best. So part of that was collecting some data from the community. We sent out a survey to the elementary school parents, like a month ago or so. And, we just wanted that to guide us in the direction that we need to move forward. So I'd love to read those results to you all. Okay, so we had 59 participants take the survey, and 98% of the participants believe that we need after-school care immediately. 68% have 1 to 2 children that are in need of after-school/summer program now. And 68% will need care over the next 3 to 5 years. So that shows that we have sustainability also. 58% prefer a licensed care center, and 34% need after-school care, and 32 need summer care. Along with that, I did an average of what parents are willing to pay for tuition, and that comes out to be about $100 per student per week. And that's including like the summer program, not just the after-school portion. And then we also had a comment section in the survey, and so I highlighted a few things that were repetitive throughout that. So that is, I just want a safe quality program for my children to be able to attend. I want a program with more accountability. It should be hosted in the elementary school if possible. And childcare for children over preschool feels non-existent in this community. So all that being said, NHAC and the committee that I'm on is proposing the use of a space within the Lead-Deadwood School District. In order to provide what the community is asking for, we need a quality, safe, i.e. licensed program that has to follow rules and regulations set forth by the Department of Social Services. So DSS has very specific rules and regulations that they have in place to keep kids safe, which is obviously very important. And we want to make sure that we're following those. However, using some buildings in the community, we run into some costly issues, and it's just not sustainable for us in the past. So if we're able to use an already state licensed building, that will make the process successful and sustainable. NHAC already has a satellite pre-K classroom within the middle school building. And grateful for that relationship that we've built over the years, and we want to continue that partnership as we grow and expand into an after-school program and provide education-based quality care for our community. Just as we do with our pre-K classroom, NHAC would independently manage all aspects of the after-school program, including staffing, tuition collection, curriculum development, and furthering our teachers' education as well, and making sure that it's clean. So we will have no additional support needed from the janitorial staff or the administration school staff when we required. It would be ideal to have this after-school program in the elementary school because the majority of the students will be enrolling already will be attending that location. However, if there's another space within the district that works better for you all and us, we're absolutely going to work with that. And if we need to transport children from one school to another, my staff will escort them on the bus to the location of the after-school program, making sure that there's no added responsibility for the bus drivers, which we know that their jobs are already hard enough. We're not going to make them any harder. So if all of this goes through, our proposed start date would be fall of 2025, and the hours of operation through Friday, 3:10 to 6 p.m. We're hoping this program is strong and will continue into the summer of 2026. And those summer operation hours would be 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. We'll have a couple of tuition options available, a full-time and part-time. And we will also offer childcare assistance, which are subsidies offered through the state of South Dakota for qualifying families. And we're also working on getting some locally sponsored scholarships for families as well. And the age of the children participating will be kindergarten through the 6th grade. Thank you so much for your time and consideration of this and supporting our community and what it needs. So if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Here's how many.
No, I think that is something that is very much needed in our area. That's a pretty consistent thing that I hear. Not necessarily so much through this role, but I just hear it as a community member. So I agree that it's something necessary.
Okay.
So nothing else today. I'm assuming we'll see it on future agendas once the
Right, when we have some,
the details.
when we have some things kind of worked out, then we'll have an agreement at that time that the board would approve. But I think, I kind of made the assumption that everybody would kind of be on board with it, and it kind of sounds like that's the consensus. We just have to work out, like it'd be easy for me to say, yeah, you can have a room in the elementary school. Well, I don't know where that would be. So we need, there are just some things like that we have to figure out.
And I think it's important too, to look at the fact that when we did away, I mean, I was on the board when we stopped having that after-school program, and the reason for it was because of the Boys and Girls Club, and we didn't want to have, you know, that competition going on, and they were able to provide certain things. So I do think you need to also maybe look at that a little
Yeah,
bit,
just
just
our
so we know.
communications with them. They have a new director actually, and we just spoke today. And she's a part of our committee as well. So I think
Okay,
that it's important to, we're not in competition with them at all. We want to all just give the community the options to have different faces and ways of providing that care too.
I just know that that was a big discussion.
Yeah,
when we did away with the program.
Yes.
And then I know some of the things that I can just tell you that I would have questions on, just so you kind of know what to prepare for is, I don't want there to be any added anything to our existing staff. I mean, I don't want them to have to deal with it, because I know last time we did have a lot of crossover. So however that would work out, I think there needs to be a very clear line. And then also making sure, kids are not left unattended in parts of the school, because that happened quite often, where all of a sudden they were, you know,
In the
in
gym.
a different spot that they weren't supposed to be in, or in someone's classroom, or in fourth floor bathrooms, and there was a lot of issues, so those would be all things like that I would have questions on, of how you're gonna keep them to the space that they're supposed to be in.
Would you like me to,
I don't think for now, I just
Okay.
think these are things that I know I would have
Yeah.
questions on, so just when you get to that point, I think as long as those things can be handled. And the biggest thing for me is no additional anything on our existing staff.
absolutely.
And the only other thing I would add is, I don't know, but I really see a whole lot of people being willing to pay $100 a week per kid to be a part of that. I think that if there's any ability to reduce that cost, I mean, that's gonna be on your guys' end, but I just don't know that I see it being as successful as I'd like to see it be at that price.
And that's probably more so, I mean, we do have a budget that has been utilized throughout other after-school state programs. We're working with their board of directors as well. And more so like for the after-school program, and this isn't completely 100%. But ballpark figure, for the part-time, it would be more like $45 a week. That the $100 range is more what you would be paying for a summer program, which is like 40 hours of care a week.
And really, that's not gonna be our problem to solve.
No,
No, and those will all be kept in-house.
right. I'm just saying, I
Yeah.
think that if we want it to be successful, then that's gonna be something that is gonna have to be discussed.
Well, I would say we need to have a very clear line. It is not the school board's job to make this a successful program. It's a private entity that's asking for space. So that's, we don't get a lot of involvement in their budgeting.
Yeah, I don't think we get to choose all the prices.
Right. But I think you could figure it out and we can make a deal. That's good. I mean, it is needed. It's not, I don't think you ever hear us say it's not needed. So. Okay, well, thank you for coming and making your pitch, and we'll kind of see where it goes from here.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Okay. New business, contracts, resignations, retirements.
Okay. We'll see here. Okay, certified substitutes, Adriana Chaska, $135 a day. Classified substitutes, substitute bus driver, Daniel Matthias, is it Matthias?
Matthias.
Okay, $20.43 an hour. And then paraprofessional, Adriana Chaska, $18.81 an hour. Resignations, retirements, Sarah Johnson, middle school language arts, Oliver Burgoyne, middle school, high school art, Liz Frith, food service director, Diana Ringling, 4-hour high school custodian, and Becky Kennard, middle school, high school, family consumer science. And then we've got an administrator contract to approve, Michael Embrock, $100,000. And I'll just mention with that, we advertised a range there, a salary range, and a lot of times, you're not bringing somebody in at the high end of that range. This is a person with like 20 years of middle school and high school principal experience, so that's why he's at the top end of that range. The other thing you'll notice might seem kind of peculiar, the start date is August 1st. Principals are on a 195-day contract. Typically, it's a really a light load in July, but then anyway, the deal with Mike's particular situation right now is that he's overseas in Athens, Greece, at a school there. And so he won't be available July 1st. So for his convenience, we made that start date August 1st. He'll still be able to get his 195 days in pretty easily there. And then starting next year, then his contract would be July 1st like everybody else. So that's why that's a little bit different. And then certified contract, Dylan Gillespie, high school PE instructor, 51,000. That's at the base pay. And I think the arrangement there is anybody we bring in at the base, when negotiations are completed, they would be at the new base for the 25-26 school year. So,
Bridge.
yes.
The resignation.
Yep, resignation of Anna Bridge as the family liaison. And then approval of Eric Allen. That's for high school science, 54,000.
40.
Yeah. I think it'll be 54,080, right? Probably, well, okay, 54,040 to be adjusted, yeah. Anyway, so that's following he's still on the hiring guide.
He is, well, we figured that out. He's
Right.
the 54th. I mean,
Yeah, but he'll be on the hiring guide. He'll be on he's in his first 4 years, so he'll be on the hiring guide. So it's not like like we have a hiring guide that lays out what salaries are for if they're in their first 4 years, and he falls within that. That's what I'm trying to say. Not very well. Anyway. So we can do all of that in one motion, and then I'll talk about that other one.
Okay, so we would need a motion to approve the certified list that he just went through for certified, classified, resignation, retirements, administrator contracts, certified agreements, including Anna Bridge and Eric Allen.
Make a motion to approve all of those things.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Okay, and on this next one, Jay just made a hire and offered a contract to this Leon Biggs. And he's gonna be one that is in a little different place, comes in with, what would we say, 15 years of K-12 experience.
Yeah.
Yep, and he has a doctorate, which we don't really recognize a doctorate. We do MA 24 is what we allow for. And so the motion I would ask for is for the board to offer that contract at a salary of 65,000. And then when he signs that, since you've already made a motion to offer it, then it becomes binding upon his signature. So, yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve Leon Biggs' contract.
Offer.
Offer Leon Biggs' contract at 65,000.
And I'm guessing that's consistent with other teaching staff that have doctorates.
It is, well,
Yeah.
like I say, MA,
We don't recognize a doctorate or not.
yeah, MA 24. So like, for example, when Jay and I looked at the spreadsheet, there's a teacher that is MA 24 with, I think it was 12 years of experience. was a little bit higher than that. And so it's kind of coming in a little below some of our existing people. That's what we try and do, is bring them in comparable, but a little, not at the top end.
I'll second.
Okay, so we had a motion and a second, all in favor? So the motion carries to move forward with that. Okay. Next item is the health insurance renewal rates.
Okay, so, our health renewal, premium for the school year coming up. There were 5 trenches ranging from 0 to 5%. We were in the 3rd trench. We got a 3%. So, that makes our premiums, these are monthly, for single 809 and employee plus one is 1,613. Employee plus dental is 1,461 and family premium is 2,018.
Employee independence, right, not dental? You said dental.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just making sure. So employee independence.
And then,
Okay.
sorry about that. That's next.
Okay, just making sure. So those would be the new
Yeah.
rates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deductibles and everything else stayed the same. 1,000 and 2,000.
So we would need a motion and a second to approve this health insurance renewal rates.
Is that motion?
Okay. Okay, so we had a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next. Now we'll get the
Now we'll go to the dental. We received a 5% increase in our dental rates. So for the single, the monthly premium is $57.34. And the family premium is $155.30. And once again, the deductible is unchanged.
So we need a motion to approve the dental insurance renewal rates.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Right, so we had a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Creation of contract with building blocks therapy.
I think, Jay, that's
Sure.
no changes.
No, and we're just really happy with that company and she does a fantastic job for our school district. I'm really glad that they want to have another,
Keep doing it.
keep doing it. So,
Okay, so no change.
and just to add that there will be a physical therapy probably next month, 2-year contract coming with the same people too. We're really happy with them too. So, but I'll give you more information on that for the board packet next month.
Okay. Well, with that, with no changes to the contract from the one we signed last year, it looked to me like it was pretty similar.
Yeah.
So we would just need a motion to approve that occupational contract with building blocks therapy.
Make that motion.
Second.
All right, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We are looking at the calendar for the like 10th time.
We're going to change this.
No, this is what was presented.
Okay, because I looked at it and I couldn't find in the changes.
What was presented.
Okay, so we would need a motion to approve the district calendar for 2025-2026 year.
Make a motion to approve the calendar.
Second.
Right, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. You have a couple of open enrollment papers, it looks like.
We didn't find anything, mess with those, and so we just asked the board to approve those. Those are for the upcoming school year, not for the current.
Oh, okay. So starting next school year.
Yep, starting in fall.
Okay, so, I believe you can do both of them at the same time if you want to, can't you, in the same motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the open enrollment applications 26-1 and 26-2.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm over on top. The rest of them are. So we are looking at classified negotiations.
You know, and it's in the board packet. I can just run down the bullet points real quick. 5% increase to current employees' salary or wages, 4% increase on the base or starting wage. Addition of Easter Monday to the paid holiday list. Retention benefit wording will be updated to match the wording in the certified and classified certified negotiation agreements. Paternity leave will include language for paternity also. The district will grant 2 additional days of paid leave for hourly employees not on a 12-month work agreement who do not report to work assignment on days of inclement weather or other conditions causing cancellation after they have used their 3 days of personal leave to cover school scheduled to be in session, but is not in session due to weather or other conditions causing cancellation of the school session. It's a mouthful. The district will cover the health and dental insurance rate increase for the 25-26 school year. So that was the classified agreement.
So we would need a motion to approve the classified negotiations.
Motion to approve the classified negotiations.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Confidential negotiations.
Confidential agreement is also a 5% increase to current employee's salary or wage, 4% increase on the new hire salary schedule, addition of Easter Monday and New Year's Eve day to be paid holidays, and removal of Veterans Day as a paid holiday. So that basically New Year's Eve day and Veterans Day got swapped. Retention benefit wording will be updated to match the wording in the certified and classified negotiated agreements, and maternity leave will include language for paternity.
A motion and a second to approve the confidential negotiations.
Motion to approve the confidential negotiations.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are to this one, right? Yep. The memorandum of understanding, regarding the retention incentive that we worked on last year. There was just some backwards on it. We just need to figure out, and it looks like you guys did.
Yeah, basically it comes down to, Mr. Paulson and I talked on the phone first, and I met with he and some others from LDEA, and basically there was some confusion on the intent of that agreement. Again, that retention incentive is basically that, when people hit a 5-year increment, like when they hit the 5-year mark, they get a $500 check. When they hit 10 years, they get a $1,000 check, 15 years, 1,500, 20 years, 2,000, but then it never goes beyond 2,000. 25 years, 30 years, whatever, it's still $2,000. Okay, so the part that got confused was when this was gonna start. And I think everybody agreed that on the in-between years, like, we're not gonna go back, and if somebody was at 16 years or 17 years, they'll get a payment when they hit their next 5-year increment. But what was confusing was, okay, the current school year, this was negotiated a year ago, the current school year, is this year 1, and then we go forward when they hit 5? Or is this gonna be the first year of payments, so when somebody hits their 5-year mark this school year? And so I think, the retention incentive is a good thing. Everybody agrees in principle. We all think it's great. We just need to be on the same page on what was intended through negotiations. So I won't go through the whole process of how we kind of figured it out. But basically, the LDEA folks got a little help from SDEA. They drafted this memorandum of understanding, which is basically, we're asking for you to approve it, without reopening last year's negotiations or anything like that. Just approving this memorandum of understanding that, hey, anybody that hits that 5-year mark at the end of this school year will be eligible for a payment. They're not starting over at year 1. So I guess I can read that to you all. I mean, first of all, do you have any questions about that and breaking protocol here, like Tom, Dana, did I explain that adequately? I mean, that's kind of what we came up with, but. All right, so, there's a lot of language here and basically I'll read the meat of it. Therefore, the parties agree as follows. One, the retention incentive as outlined in page 7 of the agreement shall commence during the 24-25 school year. 2, the first cash bonus made per the retention incentive shall be completed by May 30th, 2025. And will be the first of ongoing payments as outlined in the agreement. Which, just a side note, when we first started talking about this, I said, hey, look, we can, we'll make this right, but they might have to wait until August to get their check because payroll is expensed in the current fiscal year through July. And when I talked to Margie about that, she said, hey, we can make this work. So thank you to Margie for the flexibility, getting it done this fiscal year. That'll help our retirees. That's just kind of a side note. Number 3, the first cash bonus as outlined in the retention incentive shall be based on the recipient's total years of service as of the 24-25 school year, and said years of service shall be taken into consideration for cash bonuses ongoing. Number 4, LDEA will present further clarifying language at negotiations for the 25-26 negotiated agreement. And the parties agree that no changes need to be made to the 24-25 agreement pursuant to the memorandum of understanding. So it just kind of outlines the intent of the agreement, I guess, is what I would say.
And so a memorandum of understanding, are we signing this? Is it going in the minutes? Like, how are we not gonna lose track of it? Just curious.
Well, a couple of ways. I think,
Yeah,
you will need to sign it on the back.
Okay.
And it will be noted in the minutes. And Margie will have a copy of it and like, it's gonna be dealt with next month. And then after that, it's not gonna matter.
I think the reason why we should pay it out of this year's budget is because it's a benefit for 24-25.
I'd rather keep it clean, so from budget.
So we're not doubling up in
Yeah.
FY 26.
Okay, so then we would need a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding provided here, and then I'll sign this one. I will say I'm fixing the spelling error,
Spelling error.
bonuses. It's a bouses. House, so I
had no hand in writing it, so.
I'm an attorney, so.
We're just doing our best.
Second. Second, all in favor? Perfect. Today's date is.
Get those blouses.
Bonuses.
They should give you bonuses too.
So I just reached it out, just so you know, here's the official one, in case you want a copy. All right, you have
So, yep, so the certified contracts, I think I addressed that in the memo, we just need a motion to offer the certified contracts, and those have actually gone out, a lot of people have returned them already. And then when negotiations are completed, they'll get an amendment to reflect their correct salary for next year, we just needed to get going.
just offer it.
Yep,
So we would just need a motion and a second to offer the certified contracts.
Make a motion to offer certified contracts.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Administrator reports.
okay, I'm gonna slip something in here. I see we have Miss Williams here again tonight, welcome. Do you have anything that you would like to report on to start us off? And one of these days we'll actually get you on the agenda.
Okay, I got something. For arts, the drama club performed their play last night. And that was for the community, and if you didn't go, it was really, really good. It was pretty fun. So yeah, you missed out, but it was really good. And then they'll also be doing that tomorrow during school hours for all the students. Choir has a concert coming up on the 28th, and that will be their Pops concert. They'll be performing their songs for their upcoming contest, and then some pop songs. And then senior members of the choir will have the opportunity to sing a solo song. And then band and choir students will be going to Rapid to perform at large group contest. And they'll be judged based on like how they can work as a choir and perform. And then for sports, girls golf started up. I think they have 3 members. And then the track meet had their first meet in Newcastle, and they had quite a few PRs and placements, so that's really good. And then they also had their second meet today in Douglas. And then tomorrow in study hall, Spanish 3 and 4 will be performing Don Quixote. And then NHS also has a couple things coming up this month. Their volleyball tournament is set to take place on April 15th. And all the proceeds from that will be going to Down syndrome support group. And they also have their banquet on May 6th, where they're welcoming new members and also recognizing some of the students who have been in that for a while. Key Club went to Decon, and Cameron Zopp was made the Lieutenant Governor of District 4, so that's really cool. And juniors are smarter balance testing right now. Publication students are also working on the yearbook. The theme this year is A Year Worth Watching, and it's kind of going to take a Netflix theme at it. So it's looking really good there. And then prom is this Saturday. Everybody's excited. The theme is glitz and glamour, and the prom committee has started decorating and all that. So it's looking really good. That's all I got.
Thanks for the update.
All right, I just have 2 really short things. First one, because you need to be there, we have that Green Trust meeting tomorrow,
Monday night, I know she sent me a reminder.
5:30, so,
6, I think is what they told me.
is it 6?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Look at that.
And then I think a couple of you, I think, are also meeting for negotiations tomorrow.
6 o'clock.
So,
And
okay,
we
so,
have one at 7 Thursday morning. Just so you know, it works. I found out tonight,
so,
so.
yeah, so some of those things will be happening simultaneously, but anyway, we had a lot of really good, requests for the Green Trust, and we've got about $61,000 to distribute this year. And a lot of times that goes roughly 50-50 between scholarships and grant requests. And so that's happening. Tomorrow night, we're having that meeting. And then the other just short thing I have is we're kind of working through the process with the annexation of the rest of the school land. There's a little bit of a legal process to go through there. We're having Tim Johns review the request. He made some recommendations as far as on the form, some little things that we need to change. And so we're in the process of that. And I think within the next month or so, we'll have that annexation completed so that all of that school land parcel will be in the city limits of Lee. So some is in, some is out right now. Anyway, that's all I have for right now, unless you guys have any questions. Don't put me on the spot or anything, okay? Then I'll yield the floor.
Darcy.
Very good. So I don't have a whole lot this time, but just kind of wanted to update you. Hands-only CPR for the high school. We started today with 9th grade. I'm very excited about this, and the 9th graders were very engaged in the class today, so that's exciting. And we'll finish up with the seniors early next week. We're on the 7th week of our employee wellness challenge, and I have 30 staff members that are participating. So I think for the number of staff that we have here at Lead-Deadwood, I think 30 people participating is a pretty good number. We'll continue to do this, hopefully every year, and maybe more and more people will want to participate. I think we have some pretty good prizes, so hopefully we'll get more people that will want to join us next year. I've had some good feedback from the people that are participating, so. Next, Delta Dental Bus was here and they served 36 students. We focused a lot on middle schoolers and high schoolers this year, and they needed some extensive work done. Because they needed so much work done, we did not get to all of the students that signed up for Delta Dental Bus. So we had approximately 7 students at the elementary school that were not seen. We know that we could actually use the dental bus for 2 weeks, and we have funding to do that, but Delta Dental Bus cannot commit to coming here for 2 weeks at this time. We're on a waiting list for that. They have some challenges right now as well, with staffing, things like that, and aging buses. So, maybe someday we'll get them for 2 weeks, but right now we're just doing the best we can with what we have. The last time I updated you, I talked about the Kids Heart Challenge in the elementary school. The more I got to talk with American Heart Association, I realized that they really wanted us to commit to a fundraiser and trying to raise about $2,000 with the elementary kids. We already had a fundraiser scheduled this spring, so I really didn't want to try to push in 2 fundraisers. It's a lot for our families, so we opted not to do that this year. Hopefully we'll try to figure out something else next year. Continuing to work on the district wellness policy update. Kind of facing some challenges with balancing what the state wants in our policy for the triennial assessment and what is best for our students and our district. Just really trying to be thoughtful about it and not just put language into a policy that it's service, but we're not actually going to follow. So that's really all that I have for right now. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Liz isn't here, but she gave a printed report. And like, I was like, oh my gosh, this thing is 8 pages long. And so I ran off copies and had them stapled and collated. And Mary's gonna say, see, what happens when you don't ask for help? Okay, it's not 8 pages long. She put 8 copies there. So I'm the world's worst secretary. So here we are. And I'll let you kind of peruse that on your own. We're all able to read. Oh, there you are. Gotta be quick. Okay. So yeah, rather than read that, everybody, I'll just let you guys kind of look at it. You guys want to pass those around, be collated? It's front and back. I tried to save paper.
Not this way. You don't keep the paper over this way.
Oh, that's one of the most ironic things today.
Oh, but it's the thing, it's the
Right. That's what I mean. I thought it was 8 pages long. I'm like, I'm doing that front and back, 4 pages.
This is.
This is 8 copies.
Oh, we just hear like this.
Good job.
All right.
You're doing great.
We just really wanted to know how the funds were spent.
If that's my biggest mess up of the day, then we're in pretty good shape.
Well, thank you for the report.
I think I've got enough copies.
If not, you can read the back.
You put that in paper, aren't you?
Both sides.
It saves money. All right, anything else from this print? No, okay. Technology report, Jamie.
Okay, we will be getting roughly 280 new machines this summer for all of the staff, and the high school student machines are going to be replaced. Like normal, we will recycle the machines, so the high school machines will be going down to the elementary, and the staff machines will be replacing their old interactive board computers. So that should be fun. Um, it's always busy time. Um, I have put in for E-rate funding for the last of the 5-year cycle. We had over $130,000 remaining. And I have asked for funds to redo the network wiring within the high school. I should remember the year, but this wiring is as old as when the governor came through with the initiative, so whatever that was, 2006. So it needs to be done, so hopefully that'll get funded. If it does, we should receive 60% of the total cost of the project. I was going to put in for the middle school, but in lieu of going through with a remodel, we'll hopefully just have some monies in the next 5-year cycle if they continue to do it that way. And then we will tackle that then. 97% sure. Don't look at me like that, Margie. We'll be going to a new phone system this summer. The VAST is not working with some of the emergency procedure stuff that we want to do. So looking into it, if we move to Microsoft Teams phones, I have been assured by the K-12 data center that we can integrate our intercom systems with it. And after getting into it and looking at it, it's the first year we will have a not more than we were paying Blue Peak, but just to purchase all the devices. And then after that, the yearly cost will be substantially lower. So in the end, we'll be saving money anyway. And then the last thing that's going to be fun this summer, and Mary and I have already started on a lot of it, is campus is moving to the cloud. So that means all of our integrations that we have with all the teaching software are breaking. So we've both been working on it, but and then Darcy's got new software. So working on those integrations to make sure when all of that gets switched over that everything still talks properly.
So you're gonna be busy.
Sure, yes.
Derek, we did want to ask, did you have any updates with all the stuff going on? I figured you may want to share, but
Sure,
don't.
yeah, no, and I can, yeah, so I mean, so overall, everything's going really well out of Job Corps. You may have heard, there's been some initiatives to reduce federal budgets and spending. We've been very lucky in that USDA has identified all of the employees at Job Corps as essential employees, which means that we weren't included in the, what were the initial ones they called, the probationary, dismissals, so none of our first year hires were fired. Then we had what was a fork in the road where people could take the deferred resignations. Again, as essential employees, we weren't eligible for that, so kept all of our employees there. So employee wise, doing really well. Obviously, there's a freeze on federal hiring, so tough to hire new people. So we did have a few vacant positions. Can't fill those. But nothing that really slows down operations. So we're moving forward and doing well. We've had, I think just recently, we had several purchase card holders that bought everything for the facility. We had that reduced to one person. So that has hindered some of our other stuff. I think we had an Elks dinner we were trying to cater. And so that was a difficulty. There's a lot of focus on just, maintaining the essential purchases. So all in all, I think we're doing really well. We've been spared, a lot of stuff that a lot of other agencies have not. We're able to continue fulfilling our mission of serving the students that we have, and just hope to continue doing so. We'll see what things look like in the next fiscal year. I imagine there's going to be some budget cuts, but I don't think there's any current fears about that having a huge impact on our program. So we'll keep our fingers crossed, but all in all, doing pretty well.
Do you have to answer the email? What did you do?
Did I officially have to? No. Do I get asked to every Monday? Yes.
Tim, and he would like to, I guess, just kind of ask about an option for Bible study. Is that kind of how I read it, Tim? Go ahead.
I've been children's pastor, Lead Assembly guy for 18 and a half years now, and I've interacted with several of your kids on either Sunday morning or Wednesday nights. And I'm not against sports one bit, but it just seems like sports are taking all my kids away on Wednesday nights. And Sunday nights and I feel like they're not coming to me. I need to go to them. And I couldn't find it. There's something in the bylaws or whatever that there can be an option for a Bible study last period of the day. And if that's open, I am willing to take that. I've been wanting to do this for a while, but construction just took all my time. So I kind of have a little more time on my hands right now. And kids are my passion. They always have been. Went to college to be a teacher. So I got my teaching degree, and so, but I'm really passionate about this, just bringing a good atmosphere to the kids even, but I guess that's just about it. So,
I guess I don't know how it would work with
Right.
everything.
When you say bylaws right now, are you talking about like, are you talking about like state statute? Are you talking about district policy? I guess I'm just not aware of it, so.
yeah, and see, and I got this secondhand too.
Okay.
And so they said if it was still in there, then, and I don't want to say, you gotta choose this over English or something like that. That's just ridiculous. But I mean, if there's, a study hall period or something like that. But yeah, I don't know where that was actually. Somebody has told me that this is an option. There is something in,
think
what it
it's
is.
in the-
I'm not sure if it's state or if it's district or what it
It's in the
is.
policy. I know they used to have, they call it religious instruction. And they, like, the Catholic Church would teach CCD.
Mm.
And so, I mean, this was years and years ago when my kids were little. So they got out of school half an hour early, walked down to the Catholic Church and took CCD. So it's in the policy about dismissing early for religious instruction.
We'll do some looking. And are you talking about, high school, all grade levels? What are you thinking there?
I mean, I have no problem doing, a high school level. I'm not sure how I would do the kids anyway. I hadn't thought of maybe going over to the Boys and Girls Club and seeing if I can do something there with the elementary after I've gotten done with the high school, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I guess
just don't know anything about it, but I mean, we can look at it and maybe see if there's a response we can give. I don't know at this point.
Yeah, I was really
Yeah.
hoping I could find it so I could actually present that,
Yeah.
but I don't know where it would be at.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, we'll do some digging and
Sure.
kind of see what we can find.
So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
for,
Tim.
and thank you for filling out the form and making it a little easier so we knew what to expect. That's kind of new for us, so I appreciate it. All right. So anything else? If not, next meeting, Tuesday, May 13th at 5:30 in this room. Motion to adjourn. A motion. Second. Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.